What's up, good people? We are back. Should be more regular now. The AAU is over, so we're able to get back at it. We'll wait a few moments to make sure we are streaming, make sure people are viewing. And what we'll do in the meantime, man, Smitty kind of just talked about it while we wait for some of you guys to join in. Let's talk about, man, the NBA Finals real quick before we dive into what I know that people want to hear about. So welcome, guys, to the latest episode of the Sim Standard Power Hour with myself and Smitty. And y'all know we're going to talk about what I have in the title. Madden is on the clock, and that means a lot of things. We'll get into that, and also we'll talk a little bit about the Maximum Football Beta. But like I said, to kick it off, man, Smitty, if you want to, as you know, being more of the more involved with basketball than I am, man. How do you feel about what we're seeing in these finals? I didn't call this.
Yeah, they are. I didn't think it was gonna go like this per se. I didn't think it was gonna go like this rough. Now I I did feel that matchup wise, honestly, it would have been better if it was Denver. Honestly, that played against Boston, but as far as the whole team scheme thing and how it all worked out, I feel that Minnesota, considering the two teams you had between Minnesota and Dallas, I definitely would have preferred Minnesota to go. And not because you could look at it now and say kind of in hindsight, but no, I'm saying like off top, I rather would have preferred Minnesota because I think it would have been more of a semi-balanced matchup with it being those guys in comparison to what we got like with Dallas. Dallas doesn't match up. I like Dallas, in my opinion, doesn't match up as well. But it's still, like I said, looking at the offensive aspect, because the thing is Luka can't defend for nothing. So it's like, you up here fouling out and all that stuff and everything. Hey.
Oh, that's right. He fouled out.
Yeah, he fouled out last night.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's like, he's a terrible defender, which we knew that. That wasn't something we're just now discovering. We knew that. But it's like we marveled at his offense. But you can't beat it. I mean, Kyrie's an okay defender, but I'm sorry, man. Like Boston, and see, the thing is, Boston took their lumps, took their bumps, all that good stuff. And yes, did they have the easier road? No questions asked. They definitely had a much easier road to get to the finals. But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, it still counts. You know what I'm saying? It still counts. So regardless, I know a lot of people gonna put an asterisk on it and say, "Oh yeah, but what if all these teams was healthy? Then what?" Hey, they still went through their trials and tribulations. They got bounced out Eastern Conference Finals multiple times. Got beat in the finals. When they made it before against Golden State. You know what I'm saying? So hey, this is their time now. This is their time. And I can't get mad at it. Like I love it. I'm happy for those guys, man. But it just, a complete team versus a team where it's mainly about the parts. That's the problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they have a complete team and these dudes came right in and was balling. And I mean, look, for them to not have Porzingis, and he has been a key contributor for them.
Yeah.
Even coming back off of injury, because he's been injured for a while, and he came back dropping buckets off. So to not have him and you still got a comfortable lead into the hunger is just there. Like y'all want it. So it's like the team, Boston is a legit team. They were legit anyways, but you know, I give it to him. This is 100% legit on this one right here. Dallas, I mean, good team. They'll take their lumps and learn from it. But the problem is those cats got to learn how to defend.
Yeah.
You got to be able to play team defense. If you can't play team defense, especially your marquee guys, like you don't even like even I'll take the 04 Pistons real quick. Chauncey was not this amazing defender. He was not an amazing on-ball defender when he got to Detroit. So for him to become a decent on-ball defender, it was because you had Ben Wallace and Sheed back. Well, first you had just Ben back there, but then you had Sheed back there too. And the thing is, him, especially him and Rip, they weren't great on-ball defenders at all, but they looked average to relatively decent because they had the bailout behind them. So Luka, if anything, he has to kind of reverse engineer things in a way mentally and correlate it with the footwork. He got the footwork. He just has to interpret it on a defensive side. And I'm not saying he got to become Mookie Blaylock and Tony Allen and all that. I ain't saying he got to be that. But I'm saying he can be an average, competent defender in this league, especially in this NBA. He can definitely become that. He becomes that. Now we talking about them not getting blown out like this. You see what I'm saying? Like you got to be, he needs to become a competent on-ball defender and not just a complete defensive liability like how he is now currently. So, but yeah, no, I mean, hey, I enjoyed the finals. I enjoyed it. So,
yeah, I didn't call it, man. I will say this though, it's funny. You know, people always want to pull the injury card. It don't matter what sport it is. And I think sometimes it's human nature as a fan of a team. Well, if they won't injure, I mean, we can say that all the time. It just, I agree with Smitty. It's just the ball, you know, the Celtics time, man. I mean, with the team, with those two guys, Tatum, Brown, and the compliments around them, especially now with Drew Holiday, like Smitty just talked about defense. This is a guy that could give you both. You know, tough dude, old Al Horford out there still spot up threes. And homeboy, what's my man's name? Derek White, just the spark plug, the defender. He's fast. He's always hustling. This is even when I'm telling my 10-year-old son, I say, hey, even if somebody's not a superstar, you could be that guy. Like, he made a name for himself because he's all over the place. They have a nice complement, a team, and that team is a nice group of complementary players along with two, I guess you would say, superstars. Some people might disagree with me, but I don't. Is Jaylen Brown a superstar? I don't know. I think he's a star, but I don't know. I mean, I clearly say Tatum is probably the best guy on the team. Tatum at any moment could be a superstar. This dude, when he get hot, it's like, good luck trying to put his fire out. It ain't gonna happen. I'm not sure if Jaylen Brown doesn't always give me superstar performance, but them two guys together can go crazy on you at some point. But anyway, it's their time, man. And I said, you know, early on in the year when they was just blowing through teams, I was like, yo, I don't know who's gonna beat Boston. They just looked like it was the team that was going to be in the finals and more than likely win the championship. So am I surprised that it's 3-0? A little bit, because I thought Dallas was kind of became the dark horse of the playoffs because nobody really gave them to me. I didn't hear a lot of people giving them a chance in the beginning of the playoffs. It was more so, you know, the Denvers of the world and, you know, the Wolves, but nobody. I didn't hear many people at the start of the playoffs say, "Hey, but the Mavs." So I felt like they put it together and they started showing up, and I thought it was going to be a great final. But wow, it looked like Boston trying to run away with that thing tomorrow. They looking like they're trying to sweep this thing. So we'll see. I mean, at this point, you might as well. I mean, that whole gentleman sweep thing, man, who cares? Get it out, get it over with. Because at this point, if you are a fan of the sport, if, you know, we all watching basketball, nobody in their right mind thinks that the Mavs are going to come back. So it's almost pointless at this point. Just go ahead and get it out its misery so we can all crown the Celtics and everybody start back at it next season. But hey, we'll see, man. We'll see. But other than that, guys,
one other thing I just want to say
go ahead,
real quick, and then we can go ahead, because I just want to say this. WNBA, y'all are botching this whole Caitlin Clark thing.
Oh my God.
Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, all that. Y'all are botching it with these young gunners coming in here that listen, I know y'all don't like the fact that it's these youngins, especially Caitlin Clark, but I know y'all don't like the fact that it's these youngins that are really these women brought the juice. They brought those juice narratives from college and it transitioned to the WNBA, which is why I miss college basketball being like that. You used to have storylines and you used to have that level of intrigue, but now players don't stay long enough for that to happen. So, but the point I'm saying is that you guys are absolutely destroying your chance right now. I understand her not being on Team USA, and let me make this clear. I'm not saying she's supposed to be. No one's supposed to touch her. No one's supposed to do anything to her. She's just supposed to just glide through the league. No. No one's saying that at all. But what I am saying, though, is that her teammates turning on her to a degree and being mad at her because she's signing autographs for fans.
That's
and
crazy, yo.
Them not truly having her back the way they should when she's in the games, taking the hits that she's taking. And I ain't even going to front on this one. Y'all done won 7 gold medals straight up. Dog, you should have put that girl on your squad. And I understand the point of not doing it. And I get they made the point on first sake and all that. And I get it. Christian Laettner being on the team before, Emeka Okafor being on the team before, even though he wasn't going to play. I get all that. But you're trying to, they were expanding their already enlarging territory with the NBA at that point. Like the territory was already set. The WNBA, y'all are losing money this year. Like, in spite of what's going on, y'all are losing. Y'all are operating in a bad way. So, my point to y'all is y'all need to embrace this woman or these women, because it's not just Caitlin, but y'all need to embrace that in order for your game to elevate more and more from just being, we're going to talk about controversy, to legitimately being something talked about like on a night in, night out basis about WNBA action, just like how we cover the NBA. AJ Wilson is killing it. I mean, she is crushing it out there.
She's nice.
But it's not spotlit like that, like how we would look at LeBron James or how we would look at this player or that player. It's not spotlit like that right now, but it can be. But you have to get there. And the problem is that people want to sit up here and that you downplayed her, what you downplayed Caitlin, what she did in college. You downplayed her before she even got drafted. Well, what she did in college, many of us are already doing the WNBA. It ain't no big. It's like, okay, that's like saying what LeBron James did wasn't no big deal. We already done seen players dunk and shoot jumpers and throw no-look passes. Like, okay, but it's still exceptional what he did coming into the game, right? Now, they were on the Olympic team because everybody else backed out. They didn't need to put LeBron on that team when they went in 2004. They didn't need him, you know what I'm saying, to like help be an ambassador of the NBA. He was a replacement, him, Melo, and Wade and everything, because the marquee guys backed out because of 9/11 that happened and everything. And that was the first Olympics since then. So the point I'm getting at is y'all should put this woman on the team because, number one, ushering in a new era. Number two, she doesn't have to just be a bench decoration. She could actually go in there and score some buckets. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, see the squad. And I mean, don't get me wrong.
Ooh. Who does she
Everyone.
who you take off though?
Who do I
Like
take
just
off?
judging it off of and I want the guys, everybody, guys and girls maybe in the chat to chime in. Just if let's say we're judging it off of what they've done in the league. And I know that's not fair because she's a rookie, but who do you take off this team to put Caitlin on?
I'm taking
You can
off
argue Tarazi.
Yeah, I'm taking
Tarazi's been there, done that. Yeah, she's an older.
I'm taking her off.
I ain't too mad at the squad though.
Yeah. No, I'm taking her off. I'm taking her off the squad.
Somebody say Chelsea Gray. I'm not as familiar with Chelsea. With Chelsea. Oh, let me say this real quick too before Smitty gets back to this. I see a couple of you all asking about Madden and news and trail. We don't know, man. You know, I told you guys, me and Smitty are still we still know people there, and we are kind of affiliated from home now. We don't go down to the studio, and you know, you see, we didn't have the footage and tell y'all about college football. We don't do that no more. So whatever y'all know about Madden is what I know about Madden, right? And honestly, at this point, if it was anything that I could get about it, it's inside information that's on the strength. Like my partners, my people that's working there. It's nothing I would be able to share. But yeah, I don't know anything about trailer news. I couldn't tell y'all. I wish I did. But yeah, getting back to this, man. Anybody else want to chime in? Smitty says, and I don't disagree with Smitty. Tarazi, because Tarazi is an elder stateswoman, I guess you would say. Maybe. Where I would argue to agree with Smitty's point is if Christian Laettner was on that dream team,
right?
There ain't no reason why you couldn't put a Caitlin Clark, or even if it was Angel Reed. There's no reason why you couldn't put the Rook or whatever, you know, if this dude was on that dream team. So, yeah, but anybody else want to chime in? Just go ahead and put it in the chat. Who would you take off of this team to allow Caitlin Clark to play on this team?
Yeah, I would take Tarazi off of it, but you know what I'm saying? And
somebody said Chelsea Gray only because she's hurt. Okay. Like I said, I'm not as familiar with Chelsea in her game.
Oh, okay. Well, then there it is. Okay, so it said healthy CD. Okay, no. But yeah, see, I would take Tarazi because of how old she's old and she's been around for a mighty long time. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't take Griner off. I'm like, you need that presence in the paint. I ain't gonna take her off. I'm gonna leave that one. I would definitely take Tarazi off of there. The thing of it is that she's building the brand, and you gotta understand too. I think somebody had said, was it Prime? I just happened to look on Twitter, and he said the WNBA is slated to lose $50 million this year.
Jeez.
And it's like they can't keep operating at an L forever. And see, I know y'all saying nobody, but y'all gotta understand, we're talking about U.S. women's basketball in a professional league kind of sense right here. These women coming in, I would say just the mystique of her and Angel Reese is what got AJ Wilson a Nike contract, because she Caitlin got a Nike deal too before she got in there. So AJ Wilson got a Nike contract and her own shoe. You know what I'm saying? They got charter flights and everything like that, which was something they didn't even have before. It's like that's how change comes about. And see, just like with anything else, when change comes about, it's not going to be comfortable. All these women are uncomfortable. Their feathers are all ruffled up. It's not going to be comfortable. But if you want to move forward, what y'all need to do, instead of trying to beat the brakes off the girl, y'all need to ball the heck out. stand out then. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what y'all got to do. If y'all want to make it happen, come out there and ball. Like AJ Wilson, balling. Go out, ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got to ball out. Period. That's how you going to get there.
Somebody made a good point. SD Smith, he says, if he's not mistaken, he thinks Tarazi is set to set records if she wins the gold. Yeah. If that's the case, yeah. I mean, I'm not against Tarazi being there. I was just trying to figure out if I was putting the team together. And again, I'm not going to pretend to act like I know each one of these ladies thoroughly. But I was just saying, you know, maybe you take the person who's been there and done that and replace them. But sidebar, if this could possibly be a record-setting thing, then yeah, I'm not going to take her off the team. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely understand what Smitty is saying. I'm not mad that Caitlyn didn't make the team, though.
Yeah, no. I'm not mad at it, but like what Stephen A said, and I fully agree with it. It was a horrible business move on their part. She should have been on the team. Yeah. No question about it. She should have. I mean, and that's it. So, and I'll just say this too. You also got to remember too, all the hate they getting. These women got NIL deals. They were millionaires before they even came in the thing. So all the money they making, and these women ain't even breaking that much. They don't have her or Angel Reese. They don't have to go overseas when the season's done. They chilling.
Yeah, it's true.
See what I'm saying? Angel Reese doing her modeling thing and all that stuff. They were sitting on mills before they were even thinking of getting drafted. Angel, she said it last year, like, man, I ain't even thinking about I might go play pro. I mean, I ain't in no rush because all the bread she was making already. She getting paid. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm like, so that's what I'm saying. These women are sitting on a good amount of money already, where a lot of these other ballers is like, well, as soon as this season's over, I'm packing it in and going to China or going to the UK or wherever. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to do that. So that's all I'm saying. But that exposure of seeing Caitlin Clark in that jersey on that stage would mean a whole heck of a lot, especially when you're trying to establish the brand of women's basketball in a professional sense, for it to be took seriously and see that sport get elevated higher and higher. So that's the main point I'm getting at with that. A lot of people ain't even seeing any of that stuff, but it's like that's how that's going to happen. So, but, you know, that's all. Just wanted to throw my, few cents in the pot on that real quick. That's all.
And that's the thing, guys, that, I know some of you guys are making the point from a playing standpoint, but where I definitely agree with Smitty's point, if the WNBA wanted to do it for a strictly business move, you ride the hot hand. I mean, Caitlin Clark is just, she's the talk of the town, whether it's the fact that she's getting roughed up or whether it was the fact that, she did what she did in college or she started slow in the WNBA and that, like, definitely from a business standpoint, I do think they missed the opportunity there. And even though, again, maybe it doesn't necessarily have anything to do directly with the WNBA, but again, I would have been campaigning from a business standpoint. If I'm running the WNBA, we might want to go with one of those hot hands. The new talk of the town, even if it was Angel Reese. Because like Smitty just sat there and told y'all, most people don't even know that Asia Wilson is hooping the way she will hooping unless they watch. But people know who Caitlin Clark is. They just know the name. So, yeah, from a business standpoint, I would agree with that. From just ball standpoint, I can understand why she's not on the team. But it is what it is. But honestly, man, one of you guys said, what do you think they need to develop more or to be, make more money? The honest truth is it's most men. Can I be honest with y'all for a moment? Y'all know how men work, especially younger men and single men or whatever. Usually you're not attracted to anything a woman is doing, unless it involves unless you are excited by them, or I'm going to use a loose term and that everybody will understand. Unless oh man, I'll hit that. Like that's usually when guys are interested. Let's be honest. Think about even female rappers. My girl Rhapsody is one of the best lyricists out there as a female rapper. But ain't nobody talking about Rhapsody because Rhapsody ain't shaking no tail. She not twerking. She not doing the Ice Spice or the Sexy Red or whatever. That's just the reality, if I'm being real, with a lot of men. That ain't me, because I can appreciate female sports and all of that. But a lot of men, if we're being honest, fellas, y'all ain't watching that. It's not as entertaining to you unless I heard a dude say it the other day. I heard a guy say it the other day. Hey, man, the WNBA got some baddies now. I might check it out. See? You see what I'm saying? But when they all looking, what was my girl back in the day, man? The point guard. I know Smitty gonna know who I'm talking about with the braids.
Oh, Witherspoon?
Yeah, when they look like that, I was admiring her game. Like, yo, she be hooping. But that ain't look like somebody that most dudes want to see. What I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the women don't support it. If you could get more women to support it, that's the truth of it, bro. That's really the truth of it. And that's why the league is where it's at.
The other thing, too, though, is there also was not a lot of merch out there either. Like, I remember, like, the Detroit Shock won 3 titles. I never saw a single, like, I never seen a Swing Cash jersey. I never seen a what was the girl's name? Deanna Nolan jersey. I never seen none of or Cheryl Ford.
Cash.
Yeah, right.
Nice,
that's what I'm saying. And I mean, and look, and I met Deanna Nolan a few times, and she's cute. But see, the thing is though, it's like, but I went to several of their games. Like I'm like, yo, but they was balling. But see, they had no merch that was there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like go to sporting goods stores, all of that. You see Ben Wallace, Chauncey, all that all day. You rarely saw a WNBA jersey anywhere.
Yeah.
So unless you went to the games. So like that's what I'm saying. Like it's like so little is being poured into it. It's like, how can the sport truly grow? But But I mean, to your point though, you're completely right though. Guys are gonna be looking and saying like, "Yo, dang, she look kind of hot." Real talk.
That's how.
And I mean,
we all been there at some point. Me and Smitty are veterans in the game, man. We are older guys, if you will. Now we ain't 20 years old no more. Right. We all been there at a point in our lives where you was only interested. Yo, what she look like? Like,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna throw another old school terminology out there or a reference. Everybody I know had Little Kim's first album cover.
Oh,
because of why? Because of that poster.
Yeah, that
everybody.
Are you kidding?
Could not tell me a name of a song on that album. Y'all just saw that. Y'all know the cover. You know what I'm talking about. But why did you have it? That's just how it is, man. It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it. But like Smitty said, man, because my niece played ball, I started really paying. Some of them women be balling.
Mm-hmm.
Like they actually play a lot better nowadays. If you really just stop and watch, it's entertaining if you give it a chance. But that's the truth of it, man.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I saw somebody say, do you think 2K would make a WNBA game? No, because it's in 2K basketball.
Right.
They're not going to make an independent game.
Yeah, they'll expand upon it, but they're not gonna. No. They're not gonna have its own game. No.
Yeah.
No, that's not gonna happen.
But all right, guys, I know what y'all are here for. It's funny how Madden is always the topic of Madden has a type of allure that Madden has every year amazes me. Because there's always that segment of people that claim they hate it, but they want to talk about it the most. It's always the topic of discussion. If I don't talk about Madden, people will hit me up. Hey man, you ain't made a Madden video. I'm like, I thought we didn't like Madden. But what we're gonna talk about really quick. Well, not really quick. What we're gonna talk about, period. Madden 25 to me is on the clock, and I'll just give you my quick synopsis of it and then pass it to Smitty. It's because this is what I thought would happen anyway. College football, not only is it coming back, let's go back to, let's say, NCAA 12. Around that time, you started hearing people feel like, I like playing this more than Madden. That's when I remember starting to really hit that buzz. I would say like NCAA 11, 12 was when I started hearing more people, because, you know, Madden was the big brother for most of the time. But those latter years, you started hearing people say, I kind of like this better. So you already have that element. It's a different feeling game. But this game has been a wave since 2013. That's automatically the allure of that. Everybody's excited.
Oh, of course.
Now, not only that, we're hearing about how phenomenal this game is. This is what everybody is saying. Everybody who's seen it or played it. Shout outs to my man Scott OG. I see he out there clarifying things in his tweets. Everybody's excited. People have grown tired of Madden. So Madden 25 to me is on the clock. It cannot afford to be lackluster. It can't. It has to be on the level of what we're expecting college football to be. We haven't played it. I know many of you guys haven't, so we're just going off of what people are saying and what we're reading. But it cannot be inferior to college football 25. This is a critical moment. And this is why I'm going to stick my neck out there and say, Smitty, this is why I think Madden 25 might be all right. Because as business people, and I know that's strange to hear me say that, because me and Smitty has beat down the business practice of those people who control Madden and knowing what they should and shouldn't do. But I don't think you can sit in a boardroom or whatever and feel like, hey, we can just keep doing what we're doing with Madden. We're making this great game over here, but y'all can't afford to do that, because you cannot create competition and swing it in the way of another game that is in your house. You don't want to lose. That you would want people to buy both. You don't want it to be where it's overwhelming. Madden 25 ain't being talked about. Nobody's playing it. You can't get people to compete in the MCS or nothing, because everybody over here, you got Problem and all of them boys, they rocking college football.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why I think, I wish I knew for sure, but I think it just might be a solid game, you know, based off of some of the stuff that we're hearing as rumors. Let me just read a couple to you guys. Shout outs to our boy Mike Straw. I tell you, when Mike Straw hears some news, most of the time it's happening. So one thing that he's talking about here, he says there's something called, he says Madden 25 will feature a new physics-based tackling system on PC, PS5, and the Xbox X series known as Boom Tech. It will also feature a brand new commentary and presentation, right? So then he put another tweet out there saying, hold on, let me find it. He says he's still trying to confirm the legitimacy of these things, but a couple things that he was sent to him in regards to Madden 25, 3 different broadcast teams in total, overhauled draft presentation and franchise, create a team, that's big for Madden, for those people who want that, and more of a TV-like presentation. And he also says, not 100% sure on them, but this is what I'm trying to verify. Now, let me say this real quick, and then I'll throw it to Smitty. That's not I would like to hear more things, I hope, franchise has depth and things like that. But if I'm just going off of these speculations, it would have covered a couple things that me and Smitty both has talked about. Physics being more prevalent, being the end-all be-all, driving everything. We've talked about, and I know I've talked about a ton, presentation. I say it each and every year, man, I'm tired of the same presentation in Madden. A simulation game should look and play like real football. We've also talked about multiple broadcast teams. So again, I'm not saying that those three features are the end-all be-all, but if that is the case, this to me gives me further reason to believe that maybe college football 25 and Madden 25 are sharing the same assets. Makes sense. I speculated that a long time ago when that picture came out, and it was a few months ago where they were saying, oh, we think there may be multiple commentary teams, and now they're saying it's possibly 3. And that almost fits what college football is doing. I don't know if it's an official 3, but remember we heard about the big games, the mid games, and then there was a few other people who would make appearances. So that almost sounds like it could be a collection of maybe 3 or so in college football. We know the presentation is going to be like that in college football. And now this is what we're hearing about Madden. So I'll say all that to say it better be a game that we all can appreciate.
Right.
It must be. Core gameplay has to be the center of attention in both of these games. Both of them. Because if that ain't right, then who cares? So that's all I got, man, as far as why I think they're on the clock, because I could very comfortably play college football, assuming, here's the quote fingers, assuming it's like that. Right. I could be comfortable playing that and not playing Madden if Madden is not up to snuff. Would not bother me at all. I just want a football game to play. Modern day football game that's like that. So Madden can't afford it, man. They can't afford it from the people to be subpar. So,
yeah. I'll, the thing is, Madden has came out subpar in various years. I understand this year it would be more of a detriment for them, but at the same time, it's not, because think about it. The college fan base is not going to override the pro fan base.
True.
So even with all the disdain and everything, because remember, Madden 20 and Madden 21 got smashed on by the public. Still ridiculous numbers. Madden 24 is way better than that. So they're going to get the sales no matter what. They're going to get the microtransactions regardless of what title update, what bugs, whatever it is that's in the game that's jacked up. They're still going to get all that. In my opinion, like I said the other, on the last show, this could be the year where it could be a quote unquote Madden 06 year, because the two games don't cross pollinate into each other.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not saying it's okay for that, but what I'm saying, it can be that, because you can't import draft classes. Yeah, you can do your Road to Glory thing, but you can't import the draft classes, which is a huge deal. And secondly, we don't even have the feature list as of yet.
Yeah.
You talk about this boom physics system, we got to see what that's about. What about player movement? What about the wear and tear system? What about the kicking meter? What about the weather impacts in terms of gameplay? See, are we going to see that? Because those are integral elements of football. That ain't something where it's like, oh, we're going to have it in NCAA, but we ain't going to have that in Madden. or even having a composure system of some sort. Like, I know you can't do collegiate composure, but what about true player? Was it dynamic player performance? Like y'all had Madden 12, except a completely revamped version of it. Why not? And I mean, I saw the soft drink video. I know you had the comment from Brett Lee up there. I know I saw the soft drink video, and I mean, if it's true that they got Josh Lumen back and they put him on as the guy for franchise, bet.
Where did he? I'm curious. And again, let me qualify what I'm about to say, because many of y'all asked me this question. So I'm gonna just say it. I don't watch a lot of these videos. I haven't watched a soft drink video in a long time. I haven't watched a Moody video. I don't. I'm at the point now where, again, let me qualify what I'm saying. This is not any shots to them, but it's just because, and shout out to Soft Drink, but Soft Drink built his fan base doing what he does, and I won't be having the time no more, man, to watch those videos. So even when they make a good one, I miss it because I don't, and I'm not saying the videos are bad, but I just don't be caring to hear all of the ranting and this sucks and that, because some of these guys, shout out to Soft Drink, they don't like, I don't even know what game they like. Yeah. They tear down every game. And I'm like, okay, I feel you, but it's like, it's certain people that I've seen on YouTube that don't like 2K, they don't like Madden, they don't like FIFA. I'm like, fam, what we doing here? Wait, is there any game that you are okay with? So I just started tuning those videos out. They are needed. What Soft Drink does is needed. What Angry Joe does is needed. Hey, what Moody does is needed. There's a crowd and a fan base for all of that. I don't watch none of them, man, because I don't really, you know what I mean? I don't care to be so involved in others' opinions, if that makes sense. Like, I respect everybody's opinion, and that's do what you do. And so I'm just saying that because people are always asking me, yo, did you see such and such? Nah, I don't be watching them videos, man, because it's been so much of the same thing over the years. You know, it just lost its luster to me. So
yeah,
that's all.
No, like what I will say is that he's done a good amount of retrospective videos, and I'm talking about like different sports games as well, like NBA Live videos, NBA 2K videos, FIFA videos, and baseball videos, video games, of course. And no, what he's actually really optimistic about it, about college. But then with the Madden, he's just saying it wasn't I'm about to ream out Madden for 10 minutes or so. Like, no, it was just like he didn't feel the most confident about it, but going off of the strength of NCAA, and also he said he listened to people's opinions that were at the studio, and gave him some insight. So he's saying like everything is speculatory, not saying it's confirmed, but you know, and then he stated what he stated, and then he just leaves it open from there. So it's like, all right, so it wasn't a bad video, but
I respect it. For the record, I respect what they do, because I'm gonna tell y'all another bit of honesty. That's how they eat off of that. Mm-hmm. So, as a real guy, I don't never bash none of that. That's why I bowed out of all of that back and forth. Dog, do what y'all do. You ain't gotta say me. You ain't gotta say SimStat. Do what y'all do. I know y'all eat like that. That's why I'm like, they're needed. Do your thing. Get your bread. It just ain't my cup of tea all the time. That's all.
Yeah. So, no, like I said, my big thing for me, at least for this year especially, core gameplay stuff, if Josh Lumen is there.
Sweet. Oh, so that's what I was asking. Did he say, the Soft Drink said he had, like, he heard or he had sources?
Yeah.
Or
He said the information, anything he said in this particular video that had anything to do with what's possibly happening with Madden 25, all of it is speculatory based off of people that he got inside sources from.
Okay.
They told him this.
Boy.
And he said those things. So he said
That's true though.
If Josh Lumen, because he said they supposedly hired back Josh Lumen because he said that the franchise was in a very life support state or whatever. It was in a real bad way for a mighty long time. So now he's back to revitalize it. He's doing some stuff this year. And one of the things that just popped back to me, one of the things he said this in the video too was they're going to have it where, and this is all supposedly, but in franchise mode, when you have the draft, they're going to have it where Roger Goodell announces every first round pick, and you're going to have the player come up there on stage wearing the jersey of the team and everything. So I'm like, all right, cool. So then,
that kind of goes along with Mike Straw was saying about draft presentation.
Yeah. So, and then they said they added like about 75, 80 new scenarios. So it's like he did some stuff, but this, I wouldn't expect a whole lot this year. But then going forward, though, you know what I'm saying, he would build out on it. But I think I don't know those are the only two things he said, but those are two of the things he said in his video. So it's like, but if he's there, especially with the wear and tear system that we see in NCAA, because he was the cap over head coach, and you and I, we already did shows years ago, said it in front of Rex and Clinton, all of them when we was in the building. I know I made videos on this kind of stuff too. So it's like to see this, you know what I mean? So if that's true, that's what's up. So
man, they could just put, if head coach, honestly, I saw Brett say he heard Soft Drink was referencing that.
Yeah.
Honestly, franchise mode, all they have to do, and I know it's not as easy as it sounds. You take head coach 09, everything that was done in head coach 09, and put that in franchise mode. That's it. You've done it. You have literally done it. Nothing else to see here.
Right. Yep. That would be it. That would be it. So, and I mean, and of course, we need the quarterback archetypes. The QBs are the competency of the play, because that's the other thing too. The main thing from the people that had all these impressions playing Madden, playing college, they all played play now. We don't know how the gameplay is when you start playing in that dynasty mode. So that's the key thing. You know what I mean? So, I mean, look, everything right now is paper. NCAA, everything is on paper. I get all the hype and the excitement. Like you said, Sim, 2013 was the last game. And look, Sim and I, we didn't hold that game. I could definitely say I didn't hold that game on a high pedestal. I wouldn't sit up here and like, yo, that NCAA 14, son. Like, no. I wasn't liking it like that. I was like, it's cool, but maybe NCAA 15 on next gen, maybe that'd be better. But then it ain't. That was it. So I'm not ain't gonna necessarily sit up here and be like, yo. So we'll see how the game actually does play once we play now, but then ultimately franchise mode, and the same thing with Madden too, because the gameplay is real competent in play now. You know what I mean? Flaws and all, it's way more competent there. So we got to see how it's going to be there overall. But like we said, wear and tear system, physics, weather impacting the ball, when you're gameplay wise, player movement, ball squirting out, drop passes, fumbles, all of that. Yes. All of it needs to be in Madden. Dynamic player performance. Now, I'm not going to scold them if it's not there per se, but that needs to come back into the fold. Man. Like, you genuinely need to have a system like that. I mean, I remember talking to Rex about that back then and saying, like, yo, could you have composure like in NCAA and have that in Madden and just like, can you carbon copy that over? He's like, no, we can't do it like that. It would have to be done a bit differently because that's at the pro level. And I'm like, well, that is a great point, though, too. So it's like, but you should have like how you had in Madden 12. Dynamic player performance. You need to have a validated, legitimate system in the game. That's how you're going to take this game up to another level. And that's how you're going to do it. And then it'll suffice for not having. I want to, you know what I wanted to get back to? I want it to be where I really don't have time to play no other games because I'm playing football games all year, every day. Back then, I was playing NCAA, then I was playing Madden. NCAA Madden. I was trying to keep these franchises in sync with each other because I'm like, bet, got the draft class.
Yeah.
All right. I got the playoffs going. Once that's done, bring them in. You know what I mean? So it's like I wanted that so badly this year, but I would love on anything else for this year to be playing Madden and saying, dang, man, I wish we had that draft class portability because NCAA is on point and this Madden is on. That's what I'm saying.
I hope so, brother.
I hope so. Right. That's what I'm saying. I hope so. And if they have enough meat on the bone, at least for this year, if the Lumen, situation is real, and he's actually that guy, give us a fair amount of meat on the bone to work with this year. Then next year, hit it. You know what I'm saying? Hit that sucker hard. Then you talking about a bolstered out franchise mode, extremely robust in Madden. You got something even more robust in NCAA based off of whatever it is that they bring in this year, but then also revamp next year building forward. And then you got the same thing with Madden, and then figure it out to get them classes imported. Get that thing in it. Done.
It would be a wrap.
It's a wrap, dog. I ain't gonna I'm gonna play other games, but what I'm saying is they're gonna be more to the back because I'm getting all this enjoyment out of Madden and NCAA. And this is the experience that I've been wanting, you know what I mean? And that's what we've been. How many of us got upset when we saw the Madden 06 trailer and you saw a dude get tackled and it's like he landed on his shoulder and you remember it showed him a little X-ray thing and said he got a broken collarbone. Remember all that? So
don't talk about that trailer.
No.
That's Madden 06 is the sorest spot. That's the lowest point of my gaming career. Some of y'all know the story, some of y'all don't. I'm gonna leave it at that.
All I'm saying because of that, all I'm saying is you got that wear and tear system. So people wouldn't even be mad about that. They was cool with seeing it in that because that's what they was expecting. So it's like for you to have something like that now, people would be perfectly okay with it. You see what I'm saying? And I'm cool. You got Scott OG, who see the thing is he came in there like Captain Phillips. He's like, hey, I'm the captain now. You see what I'm saying? they let him and I can't think of my man's name, the other cat from 2K that they came over together from 2K. What's his name? Rob Jones.
Rob somebody. Yeah,
Jones.
I forgot
think it
he
is
went to
whatever.
EA too.
But yeah. They came over together. So I believe they both was on there with the NCAA. So I'm just saying, if they're actually gonna let these dudes, Rob Jones, okay, bet. If they're gonna let these guys do the work, let these men work, men and women work. Let them be creative. Because NCAA especially if they just let them breathe and do their thing. That goes to the point that Sim and I have been saying to y'all ever since we've been coming back from the studio. It's like, yo, it's not that they can't do it. They just got to be allowed to do it. That's the whole point. If they're allowed to do their job the way that they know that we believe they can do it, game would be crazy. So we just got to see. And yeah, like you said, man, 25 is on the clock. It is on the clock.
It's on the clock, brother.
It is on the clock.
Because, I mean, to answer some of you guys' question in the chat, I'm going to, real quick side note, respond to Heavy Mayo here, the comment I have up here. Especially with modded Madden community, yes, I will say that. I would say that without a shadow of a doubt. He's asking on the field, just on the field, is Madden 24 the best to date with animation, speed, blocking, tackling? I would say yes, playing it on PC. I haven't played it on console in a long time, but it showed some things there. Because, again, me and Smitty has been saying for years, you know what? On field, even though Madden ain't got everything we want, it's hard to find a prior Madden, just how it plays on the field, from animation, speed, blocking, tackling. I'll even throw pass, being able to pass the ball, like with free-form passing and all of that. They ain't, in my opinion, that's probably the best Madden ever in terms of all of that. I'm not just talking about how the zones play. No, I'm talking about just what the game offers. Right. Those older Maddens that we love gameplay was not like that. Yeah, it wasn't as far as it wasn't as advanced. So I would say yes to my man's question there. Especially on PC, Sabo and the boys. I hate just saying Sabo because there's many others, but Sabo is my gameplay guy. I know shout outs to the other, I forget the other one, Madden revamped or something. They, I'm assuming their gameplay is great too because some people use their mod, but man, I have had some wonderful games. And just so to give you guys a little preview, I know I've been trying to get y'all the content, man. But just my time is just, I'm gonna try to get some more games out before college drops, at least, because once college drops, I'm gonna be on that.
Right.
But just all Madden default with the mods, because with gameplay, Sabo tweaks the game just plays the best you're gonna get out of Madden. And I have had phenomenal games. Won some, lost some, and it's just been stuff that I just didn't experience out the box on console. But let me get back to the Madden 25 thing, man. To answer you guys' question, I'm gonna say yes for all of the stuff y'all asked about as far as gameplay. Me personally, because I've been in the building, Smitty and I were there together when Madden 25 and NCAA 14 dropped. Same engine. The games could play the same if they wanted to, because me and Smitty went upstairs to watch NCAA tournament amongst devs, and the game was so wide open. Me and Smitty was like, we was ready to puke. Like, dog, where's the defense? And we was like, bruh, I'm going back downstairs to get on this.
Yeah. But Rex knew it.
Oh, God, man. It was bad, yo. Everybody all hyped because of the tournament. Me and Smitty looked at each other like, what? But I say all that to say it's the same engine. There's absolutely no reason why all of the gameplay stuff that we're hearing about, gameplay, in NCAA college football 25 isn't in Madden. Because Smitty said it earlier in the show. Football is football. There is no reason why whatsoever there should be wear and tear over here, and then Madden don't have it. Come on, man. Come on.
Yep.
I know, and sometimes even Smitty has walked me off the ledge in the past saying, yeah, Sim, it ain't that easy to do that because Madden, I get that. But now we're talking about two games that are on the same end. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to say, oh, let's do football stuff here and over here. It's the same engine. The only thing that should be different is there should be dedicated NFL stuff that we see in Madden.
Right.
Just like they told us, you're going to see all types of one-leg catches and one-foot catches because it's college. That's what we should be saying about Madden 25. There's stuff NFL related. But other than that, everything else is the same. If it's a new kicking meter over there, we better have it over there. If there's, well, see the passing, I'm curious to see how this revamped passing works. Because I like freeform passing. I really do. I have been able to put that ball, oh my God, man. Made passes in Madden that I have never been able to make in ever with freeform passing. And listening to guys like E-Ray and Dougie saying, hey, after playing with it a while, it might be better. Now, see, again, that's their perception. Let me and Smitty get on the sticks. You know, me and Smitty has been big about ball placement and stuff for years. We might not feel that. We might say, nah, I prefer freeform passing. So that I'm going to reserve judgment until I can play it because it's all subjective. You know, that's why I don't, you know, poo-poo somebody else's ideas or opinions because what E-Ray experiences might be something exactly that he wanted. Maybe that's not the same for me. Vice versa. I'm sure there's things that I like in a game that other people are like, nah, I don't really. So, but I do trust their opinion from a core gameplay standpoint because I've been in the same room with those fellas, with Good Game Bro and E-Ray and some of the other guys that went down there. We all were saying the same thing. So I can trust his opinion on core gameplay. What I'm saying, what could be subjective is the passing game. Because It's funny how you hear some people even still say they already asking, yeah, but can you use classic passing in college football 25? And I'm like, who prefers that? But you know, some people. Oh, I saw Smitty's tweet. Somebody asked if you could cut off wear and tear. Smitty was like, what? Like, I don't know why you would like. Who would do that? But you know, some people, okay, and I'm always cool with the toggle options. That's fine. Give us everything, and for those who don't want to do it, sure, let them cut it off. But don't not develop something because it's too much. Because that used to be EA's thing, and Smitty knows that as well as I do. Yeah. It's too much football. Too much football. We've heard that.
Yep.
We heard that when we was down there. Too much football. It sounds like they're going away from that, and I'm glad. I don't know what changed, but it sounds like they're getting more green lights to let's make this thing real. Because some of the stuff that we're hearing about the physics, and you know, some of the stuff me and Smitty talked about pre-show, if they have actually done that, since Smitty knows what I'm talking about, where physics is really gonna matter, even how you approach a tackle, bruh, that's football. You know, like angles will matter and things like that. That is football. Yeah. And if they have done that, then something has changed in that building in terms of the governing body. Like, but listen, man, we just some gamers, man. You know. We just some gamers that want to play quality football, and that's it. You know, many of us hardcore football fans. Some of us played the sport, can't play no more. So this is the closest we gonna get. That's all we want. That's all we want, man. And it's sad that it does make me wish 2K never lost that license. Oh. Just imagine the battles we would have seen over the years, man. Oh, and 2K might have came out on top, and I would have been fine with that. If we got, long as we got the best product, where now in 2024, me and Smitty sitting here saying, yo, we playing such and such. that game is just phenomenal. It like at this point when we were, I'm not even gonna say when we first got started and when me and Smitty and Azure met. I would say when all of us didn't know each other, there was no real internet, and we were playing games like Madden 05 and 2K5. You couldn't have told me in 2024, I'm still asking for things. I hope they do this. Like, because back then, didn't y'all all think, yo, these games getting better and better? I can't wait for next year. If I had the crystal ball to see, hey, it's about to go downhill. You know, like, who would have thought in 2024 we still asking for as good as we thought those games were for the time? Like, man, it shouldn't be this way, bro.
Yeah.
It just shouldn't be, man.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you. I
don't know.
Way. Yeah, no.
Now, I will say this too, Smitty. I didn't catch it until, I clicked on the little Madden trending on Twitter, and I saw somebody post. They post the Barry Sanders Madden 25 cover, and then Christian McCaffrey, and he was like, "Yeah, it's true. We've seen the game before," and it made me think, You remember back then when a lot of people thought Madden 25 was the best Madden during that console generation? I remember many people used to say, yo, that one had the best player movement and blah, 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 as we aged past that. So I wonder if there's any correlation to, and I don't remember, but what they were attempting to do then with a running back on the cover and now Christian McCaffrey. I wonder, because EA always seems to follow these type of themes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the run free was the big thing, remember?
Yeah.
And that true step.
True step and all of that.
That was the thing for next gen. And then you had what Rex called it. He called it the hard cuts, and on the previous gen. So it didn't have the, they had the animation where it looked like they were stutter stepping and cutting and planting and all that stuff and everything. So it was a hard cut.
Guess what else was in there? I know you probably remember, but it's something else we heard about, possibly in Madden, that kind of correlates to what we saw in Madden 25. Which I'm sure you're going to remember, but I might not give you enough information for you to guess it.
Okay.
Was it Force Impact in Madden 25?
Force Impact.
The engine that Lugo worked on?
Yep.
And now they talk about possibly a new physics boom tech.
Oh yeah, boom tech. Yeah.
Josh Lumen coming back. I'm just See, now I'm speculating. I'm just saying it's a lot of these little things that maybe somebody say, hey, we need to go back and do that. I don't know. But that Force Impact engine?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't think many people remember that. But that was on Ignite though, right?
Yeah, that was on Ignite.
That was on Ignite.
That was on the Ignite tech. Yep.
But there was some real possibility with Force Impact. And Victor Lugo was, my man Vic designed it. But y'all remember when it used to light up red or green and it determined, who would win the physics back? Like, they should have kept going in that direction and they did not. I don't understand why they took that out the game, but we'll see.
I think from what Rex had said back then, he said the system, they couldn't get it to continuously work properly. So that's why they took it out going forward. So I wish they kept it, though. I'm not going to lie. I wish they kept it and just figured it out to get it to work better because, that was, some of the trucks, some of the stiff arms, some of them tackles were like crazy.
It was
because of that Force Impact being a part of it legitimately. Like that was
this is another crazy username.
Oh hell yeah.
Her kidneys. God, y'all some wild boys out here. I would think so, man. The refs was back, they're back at 24. So I don't see any reason why the refs wouldn't be in the game. You said best Madden 11 because of concussions. We'll never see that again.
Oh yeah, no.
It's the NFL, and again, I don't think many people really believe that. Brett Lee was a former dev at EA. He could probably attest to that. The NFL has a lot of control over what they want and what they don't want represented in their game, like attendance and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They do. Trust us. They have they're probably never gonna allow concussions because again, if that's what you're trying to take out of real football, you're probably not gonna want to put that in your simulation product. So to answer that's the reason why you're not seeing some of those things. You'd be surprised, man. Some of the stuff that I've talked to the devs about, and they was like, the NFL ain't want us to do that. And I was like, what? Like, you'd be surprised. David West says, my only looming thought about SimFBallCritic, the inability to transfer your draft class. Yeah, you speak in Smitty's language. Makes me think, let's say Madden rolls out with the same franchise features as it had. I don't need both games in 24. Yeah. That's another reason, man, to kind of use your and Smitty's thoughts in another direction. That's another reason why I think they can't miss. They cannot afford to miss on that. Because that's a huge part of it. Smitty when it gave his whole opinion on that last show, is like, dog, and we all did that. We grew up in that era. That was the thing to do. And it ain't just because of the real players, it's because when you playing, these players, these digital players, because you're playing with them over here, so you know what they're gonna be or what they could possibly be in Madden. That was part of the thrill, is the connectivity. So now you don't have that. I get, granted, legal reasons, but you take that away, you most certainly will have people feeling like, man, I'm just gonna rock with the college game. And they gotta know that. Like, there's no way they knew about this draft class thing late. Like, oh, we just found out it's illegal. No, they knew this a long time ago. So if you know that, you best to make both games good. So therefore, if you have people choosing one or the other, they're both getting their sales, and y'all are making y'all money. And I'm just speaking from a businessman standpoint now. You can't afford it to be one-sided, bro. So we'll see. But they on the clock because you let wear and tear not be in there. Boy, yo, I will lose my mind. I will flip out. Y'all might see me go Sam crazy on this show. You know what I'm saying, Smitty? Like, you can't not have that. Like, that's too much of a hardcore feature.
Yeah.
To have in one football game, but not the other. There is no excuse. But I don't know, man. We'll see.
I'll say it. Those three elements got to be there. Everything that was in that article for NCAA, those three elements got to be there. You got to have that wear and tear. You got to have that weather impact and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the field goal kicking, I would love to see that, but if not, that's fine. Heck, if you guys revamp the pass controls a little bit more and everything in Madden, I'm fine with that too. You know what I'm saying? Make the passing feel a little bit better. Cool. But I do not want to see no. Can I have this falter?
Let me see if I can find it. OG had an interesting tweet I saw the other day. If I find it, I'm gonna pull it up here, guys. It was a feature about college football that he says I don't think many people are talking about as much as they should. And I don't remember what he was saying. But when I read the tweet, I was like, oh, it caught my eye. Let me see if I can find it. Because I want to discuss that with y'all. Hopefully I can find it, guys. Give me a moment. But yeah, I'm with my brother there, man. I'm with Smitty. it's almost like I said, it's no excuse, bro. Those elements have to be there. It's a football game. It's not like you can't even use the excuse. You just can't. You can't use the excuse. Oh, well, we couldn't put it in. Yes, you could. It's running on the same platform. Oh, here it is. I found it. So there was a guy that said, I'm gonna read his tweet. There's a guy named Rick Lewis at Key Lime Soda. That's his name. So hey, if this finds its way to you, shout outs to you because I saw your tweet and Scott replied to it. He says, one of the dynamics about football games I've always found interesting is folks often say coverages are broken when in reality QBs have on average way too much time to throw. Is a weaker pass rush a necessary allowance to make the QB role playable by mere mortals? This is an interesting tweet because I've said this in the past too, even though Madden didn't really have the gameplay to hold up my theory. But I did used to say, listen, what happens when a game really becomes sim and certain things that you see in the real world are happening in the video game? So, like, what happens in a sense like this, where some teams have an enormous amount of time, but then a lot of teams, they don't have a lot of time? You know, are coverages broken, or is it because they have 7 minutes to throw the ball? You understand what I'm saying? So this is what Scott says. He says, I don't know what the meta will be. Oh, wait, hold on. That's the wrong one. Let me close it back. Oh, I just lost it. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I just lost it. I clicked on the wrong tweet. Let me find it again because there it is. He says, the changes up front are immediately noticeable and haven't been discussed enough. He's talking about the trenches. He says, you don't have much time to wait and make those third window throws, except in particular situations when the defense brings 3 or you have a big advantage up front. That caught my attention. For him to say, listen, again, I told you guys, me and Scott been cool for a long time. Since before he went to 2K. I knew him. We used to chop it up. And I told y'all, Scott is just as much of a sim football type of guy as he is basketball when it comes to gaming and such. We have talked about things like the trenches. And so for him to say that the changes are immediately noticeable and is not being discussed enough. This is CFB 25. So I would expect all of this stuff to be as well to reflect itself in Madden. But I wanted to share that tweet with y'all, man, because that is very interesting to me. That is very interesting. So hopefully, there's some real impact and changes in the trenches where you got to get that ball out, similar to what I see in modern Madden. You know, that pass rush is coming. And I've also heard, I want to say Scott or somebody else, I've also heard somebody, maybe one of the videos I watched from one of the people who've been down there, that they said that they saw like multiple different animations in the trenches. You know, apparently, I don't remember whose video it was, but they were saying, yeah, you could definitely tell work was done there, and you're seeing a lot of different animations and maneuvers. I hope so, man, because again, that stuff can't be stale, bro. Football starts and ends in the trenches, and like my boy Smitty would say, it's got to be some type of controlled chaos down in there. Like that's a game within the game, you know, like getting to the quarterback or trying to disrupt the play. Got to be able to replicate that better than the way Madden has done in previous years, where it's just stand, and insta shed and all of that. Nah, man.
Nope.
We got to find a way to make this stuff dynamic.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
I would love to see the trench play have that organic player interaction like FIFA or NHL.
Yes.
You do that, we cooking.
We out of here.
Yep.
we out of here if you do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, but last but not least, man, before we go, we spent a lot of time on Madden. This is going to be very brief. I did want to speak really brief on the Maximum Football beta. Largely, I will say, listen, man, it's impressive to see what they've done as an indie game, and it's come a long way. Looks a heck of a lot better. I mean, visually, I was kind of shocked to see the game look the way it looks, and you can tell some of the animations that with catching and stuff like that is smoother. And however, I hate to say it, but this is a bad time for that game to release. Bad timing. College football is going to stomp all over that game, as it should. But I'm just saying, that's the reality. Is I don't think it's going to get enough people's attention. Unfortunately, it's just bad timing. You're coming back we'll be releasing the game in a cycle where CFB25 is dropping, and if it's anywhere close to what people are saying, nobody's putting that game down to play an indie game. They're just not, and it sucks for them because, like I said, you can see the work that they're doing and working, they got more of a budget and working with a bigger studio and such, but using the Unreal 5 engine and all of that. But Smitty made a good point off mic, man. He said, kind of look at Undisputed. Look at the quality of game that they produced as an indie studio. They kind of set the new bar. That Steel City Interactive came out of nowhere. And it's like, whoa. So even as an indie product, if it's not functionable enough to really grab people's attention, it's going to be tough. Is an extreme uphill battle. But like I said, man, check it out if you guys have the opportunity. If you have a PC, check it out for yourself. And again, don't judge it based on a AAA title. It's not that, but I just think it's bad timing. Bad timing, bro. Because, yeah, we'll see.
Yep. And I'll just say, from my time with playing it, it feels very rough.
Yeah.
And this game is a case scenario where I got to see the final build to really give it a legit look, per se. Excuse me, because I had played it a long time ago, and it's like the way the gameplay feels back then to now doesn't feel much different.
Yeah, that's true.
And yes, there's some good pursuit angles on past breakups and INTs and stuff like that. Yeah, but you also can't control the D line. You can't do moves with them.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah, like no, you can't do moves with them. The running and the tackle interactivity is still pretty rigid. So it's like there's a lot of work that they have to do, like a lot of work they need to do before we could honestly remotely think about taking them seriously at all. Unless they just want to put an option out there to play just because, then okay, I get it. But other than that, nah, man, this ain't it.
Because I found the mapping for swim moves and stuff is like on the bumpers, but it didn't seem to animate for me. It just didn't. It didn't work. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just too rough right now. And at this stage of the game, you gotta be coming with it. Like whatever it is that you're doing, it's got to come out. It's got to strike, especially if you're going to be in this gaming space.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be held in comparison to the big dogs, no matter what. So you come through and shine bright. Okay, cool. So, but I don't, I just don't feel like as of right now, I don't feel confident in it. Like if they come with this game right now, it's gonna flop big time. But with it coming out, well, excuse me, I don't think they announced a street date yet because they said it's in early access. I don't think they said a street date because they have a whole heck of a lot more to implement before they even think about a street date. So they get all their things together they need to, yeah, they could possibly come with it. So, but I'll just leave it at that.
Speaking of early access, this is just a sidebar for any of you guys that, and I consider myself a part-time PC gamer. So I bought that game, Body Cam. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I got a refund for it. It just wouldn't. It was janky. The way it moved. I don't know if it's. I mean, I done upgraded my graphics card and all that. I should be rocking. Right. But the game just, the way it moves, and then it's not necessarily built for a controller, even though Steam will map it for you. It's just, oh man, it was rough. And I turned some settings down. I got it to, but even once I got it to play pretty smooth, the biggest issue was getting connected to a server. It took, it took like 30 attempts to get connected to a server. Horrible experience. So I sure did. I played it for maybe 30 minutes. I hit Steam up. Shout outs to Steam. They refunded my purchase, and I'm like, nah, I can't. But man, I can tell you guys what you've seen online. Yeah, the graphic quality of that game is out of this world. I have never seen no game look that realistic. Like as far as environment, I don't know how they did that. It literally looks like real world stuff. But it will mess with you though the first time you play it because it's from the perspective of a body cam. So like the aiming and stuff is awkward. But yeah, I just wanted to share that for anybody. Again, I know some of you guys are hardcore PC gamers, so maybe you'll have better luck. But the server experience was ugh.
Oh wow.
Terrible.
Yeah. Now I've seen some people play it on like stream it and play and anything like that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Looks amazing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. Trevor Lawrence. I saw that.
Yeah.
Hey man, these dudes getting that bag, bro. They're getting it. I stopped giving my opinion on people's contracts only because I've started to realize that's just the market. And I guess if you figure you got you a good one, then your agents go in there and they plead the case. But yeah, I wouldn't have thought the boy was gonna get no bag like that. Like, can you win me a couple playoff games? Can you? I mean, they did better this year, but I'm saying if you're just talking about, I don't know. Like I said, it's Kirk Cousins was the one who did it some years back when he got the 3 years, $84 million guaranteed contract. He was the one who set the bar. And that QB market is, and then of course Cleveland bumping their head and paying Deshaun Watson what they paid him. It's the market. That's all I can say. So you can only imagine. I mean, Lamar, shout outs to Lamar. Lamar got that bag. You can only imagine what people like Joe Burrow probably gonna get now. And it just, yeah, shout outs to Trevor Lawrence. And I hate to say this, but he sure did look like he was worth it. When I went to that game last year, I was at that Jags game in Pittsburgh, and the way he was lighting us up, So, I mean, the way he was happening and didn't have a phenomenal game, but when he needed to make a throw, I was like, yeah, well, I don't know if it's our defense or if is it Trevor Lawrence. But yeah. Oh, y'all said Burrow already got his deal. See, I didn't even realize that. How much he got? It had to be in the 200s, I would expect. But yeah, man, shout outs to him, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys. Another great show, man. Like I said, hopefully we can keep these things going. It's been mostly me, man. My Thursday nights have been tied up, because my son had his AAU practices, and that's over now. So, and now, even outside of that, we got a lot to talk about now. We got these games coming out, NCAA. Well, I keep calling it NCAA because that's the nostalgia.
I mean, it is NCAA.
It is,
I
yeah.
get it. The technical name was it EA, EACF?
CFB 25. Got that coming. Madden will be coming. Before you know it, we be in September and October. We be talking about 2K. So
possibly see how these two games shape up.
Yeah.
But yep. So
Iron Eagle.
Forward to
it. Yeah, I am curious to see who, if all that is true, I am curious to see who the commentators are. That's the last comment I will make. If it's true that it's 3 commentator teams, because I saw you ask earlier, my man, who do you think it will be? I don't know. I kind of feel like my gut feeling is telling me that they're not gonna go big budget like they did back in the day. I don't think it's like it ain't gonna be Romo on the board. It's not gonna be like that, like when they had Sims and Nance. But I did hear people say, or he may have said it himself. I think Herb Street said something about him possibly working on both games. So maybe you get him already. And I'm trying to think of, I don't want to disrespect no one, but I'm trying to think of guys who are more lower tier, like a Godin and Davis. I don't know where Iron Eagle falls in that. Iron Eagle does enough. I've heard him do enough primetime games to think maybe he might cost, but he ain't gonna cost like Romo.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's a very good question. I really don't have no idea. Just my gut feeling feels like unless they're swinging for the fences, I don't know if they go back to having these the big names, Troy and Joe and Romo and Nance. Yeah, I don't think we see that. But you never know. And I can't think about it, Smitty, like who would be on the level of like and maybe a slight step up from a Charles Davis. I don't know where some of these guys fall. Maybe Iron Eagle. I don't know.
I really don't know. I mean, I know that. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I can't call that.
I can't say I focus on the commentary of the game like that to be saying, "Oh, you know what? That's what they need at EA." Like I can't say that. So like I really don't know.
Maybe somebody and he's probably more high profile, but he ain't gonna cost as much for NFL. Maybe they go back and snatch Gus Johnson up again. Somebody like that.
Okay, I definitely see that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I don't want to be disrespectful and say somebody is not on but we know who the top teams are in the NFL. I mean, come on. We know which tandems are like the money guys. And then, I've seen a multitude of guys cover Steeler games over this last season. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know enough to say who's a lower tier.
Right.
That wouldn't cost that much. Because like I said, I don't want to disrespect Iron Eagle, because I think, he probably worth some money, but I don't know. Yeah. But all right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and call this one for the night. Gave you a little extra time tonight. enjoyed the show, man. And like I said, we will expect to be back next week. I hope we are talking about a Madden reveal, or I don't know if college football will drop their next thing. There's still more blogs to come, and hopefully we talking about the Madden beta next week. So be on the lookout for that. But all right, guys, we appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good night. Hey, if you care to, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you know whenever we're doing these streams. Come check us out. We're on socials and all of that. And y'all be good, be safe. God bless.
All right.
Have a good night. We holla.
Peace.
Peace. Yeah, I don't know.